All right, we begin here. ANC Secretary General Magashule has arrived at Letoaba House in Johannesburg for his long-awaited appearance before the party's Integrity Commission. Former Free State Premier volunteered to appear before the commission. Magashule is currently facing 21 charges of corruption, fraud and money laundering linked to his time serving as Free State Premier. The SG has been facing growing calls for him to step aside, and he's been adamant that he will not step aside. The Commission says that those facing corruption charges should step aside. But according to Magashule, legal minds are still thrashing out regulations around the issue. The Commission has limited powers and can only make recommendations to the National Executive Committee. Some political analysts describe this as problematic. All right, then for more on this, when I joined by reporter Ntlantla Kgatlane, who is at Letoaba House. A very good afternoon to you, Ntlantla. Just, for the sake of our viewers, really, if you can take us back in time, really, as to how we got here, why ACE is in front of that Integrity Commission today, and really what's happening today. What have you picked up? Who is there? Who have you seen today at Letoaba House?
Well, good day, Flo, and to the viewers. Coming to you right here, indeed, from Letoaba House, the headquarters of the governing party, ANC, where the SG Magashule, or the party's SG Magashule, is appearing before the Integrity Committee. This dates back to when his name was mentioned at the commission. If you remember, this is with regards to the asbestos roof saga in the Free State. That really raised alarm in terms of what really transpired, what he was in charge. While he was in charge there, he did as he wanted. I mean, if you remember vividly, Flo, this is when one of the outstanding, or one of the testimonies that, were highlighted there was of Mr. Dukwana, who said before the commission that, the former premier and current Secretary General of the ANC should not be in that office, rather should be in jail because of a lot of maladministration, a lot of corruption that happened under his watch. But quite interesting, if you recall, Magashule is not the first senior ANC to appear before the committee. If you remember, before his swearing in, the deputy president of the ANC also, his swearing in took time as he wanted to appear before the commission. But we know that the SG, if you remember also, he went to court and was granted bail by the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court in the Free State for the charges of money laundering, amongst others, that, were highlighted at the State Capture Commission.
Yeah, it is coming across as though the Integrity Commission is really kind of pouncing hard, or it seems that way rather, on the surface. It seems as though the Integrity Commission is pouncing hard on issues of corruption. I mean, we saw what happened when it came to the PPE corruption. Is that the sense that, is coming out of Letoaba House in terms of how corruption going forward is going to be dealt with? I mean, initially it was believed that, it was just a slap on the wrist for senior members of the ANC, but it does seem at this time that people are being made to account for what is believed to have been wrongdoing.
Well, you're quite correct there. This is basically because of, what the governing party and one of the oldest liberation movement in Africa has been going through, facing, backlashes from people that, it's a corrupt party, and nothing is ever been done to those who are alleged to be corrupt or deemed to be corrupt. And this is a way of them trying to redeem and say that to the people, but we can deal with corruption within our ranks. But it remains to be seen also if this time around, since we know that there was also talk around the commission, the State Capture Commission itself, that's just a formality, nothing will happen to people who are implicated, and so forth. So it has a sort of a big scope in terms of how, it will pan out, especially with the SG, which he is viewed as the engine at this particular moment of the governing party, being alleged to be, to have done something wrong, but still holding that powerful position within the governing party.
Ntlantla, we're expecting, is there a time frame as to when we're expecting to get some word or some sort of communication from inside Letoaba House as to what has happened? I mean, surely there will be some sort of a report, but I mean, as you guys are kind of, I suppose a lot of journalists might be waiting outside as well, but is there any sort of indication at this time as to when we might get an understanding of what has happened inside Letoaba House when it comes to Magashule?
Look, what we know at this particular moment is that this is a closed meeting. We're not really sure in terms of when the report will be finalized. But to be frank with you, we know for a fact that the report has to be presented to the NWC and the ANC's NEC before it can be made public. So it doesn't look like it will end today, tomorrow. It has to go through certain steps before it can be made public.
All right, Ntlantla Kgatlane, thank you very much for that. He's outside Letoaba House for us, where the Secretary General of the ANC, Magashule, is appearing before the Integrity Commission this afternoon. We'll certainly keep you up to date as to what's happening there. But as Ntlantla said, this might take some time, and we'll only get to know probably after a report has indeed been finalized. So it might be quite a wait for some of us, but certainly we are there, and should the news come out of whatever's happened, we'll certainly keep you updated.